This comedy special titled Live Here. Philip Dikotla joins us in our studios. How are you doing?
Hey, talking about a tough year. It's been a tough one, Like it's my first year as a father officially,
Oh, congratulations.
So there's definitely going to be a lot to talk about in the show when I reveal some of the things that I've been through this process. There's been a good experience, there's been a learning experience. Yeah. But just talking over a tough year.
Don't worry, you're not alone. I'm in the same experience.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
No, but not as much as you are.
Oh, well, I spend half of the day at home and evenings I go to shows. So okay, I'm definitely
cool.
at home.
At least you are responsible.
I'm doing my best, I'm doing my best. I didn't know that it's such a traumatizing experience, especially if for some people, it's one of those things where you're like, I will do my best and I will make it work, but you don't realize or some of the things that you have dealt with, you're going to have to confront when you have a child,
What's the traumatizing part? Is it the nappy changing or just you now staying indoors all day? Because I think it's staying indoors all day. I don't mind the nappy changing, but babysitting is actually an indoors experience. Sometimes when you think about
it's not babysitting if it's your own child.
Yeah, no, that's what they say. Yes. I don't think so. I disagree with that notion that babysitting is not babysitting if you're the parent's child. Yeah, or if you're the child's parent, because it's just like, it feels like it, especially if it's a new experience.
Yeah, it's like, look, now I don't know how to explain it, guys. I don't know how to explain it. I just appreciate every moment as it comes. But cool. I will definitely say that it's one of those things where I keep pinching myself, saying, or spending his evening at home dealing with
I think it's evident, right? I think it's evident from that life influences your art in a huge way, right? Yeah. Especially when it comes to comedy, because if we don't laugh, we're going to cry. The way there's so many things that happen in this world.
And if we don't cry, we're not going to laugh, Sometimes you must cry a little bit so that, because laughter for me has always been that thing where you kind of like celebrate the things that you've been through. Yeah. You are able to recognize things with a lighter perspective when you've overcome them, So I think sometimes you must cry. Don't run away from crying, but you must give yourself an opportunity to laugh at those things,
Yeah, this is a cool one. Live Here, a Christmas comedy special. Why call it a Christmas comedy special? Are you going to be singing jingle bells, carols? Is it going to be a little bit of Father Christmas featured in this comedy? What makes it a Christmas comedy?
Of course, we are anticipating a very interesting Christmas for me as a father, and I know that I've been through a couple of Christmases with the family where they were like, hey, those type of things,
No, they gave you a lot of pressure.
I mean, it's hard to admit, but yes, they did give me a couple of moments where I'm like, why am I supposed to answer this question now? Can't we eat rice and beetroots and not be dealing with this? Yes, but there won't be, I guess I can be a Father Christmas for those who want one, but it's more about reflecting on the year and ushering in the Christmas season, with laughter. Some people won't be able to be leaving Joburg to go elsewhere. Some people don't even get to leave home to leave Joburg to go somewhere. Some people will visit other places, like in Cape Town when I do the show in Cape Town and on the second week of December. And people will get to usher in their Christmas through this experience of reflection and anticipating a great Christmas ahead of us. There's lots to talk about, yes.
But you put your art out there in so many different forms, on stage in theatre, on the big screen, both in front of the screen and behind the screen. What inspired you to also get into comedy? Is that something that you've always known you wanted to do, or was it just one of those natural talents that came with your entire arts experience?
Me and comedy have a very interesting relationship, because comedy is where everything started for me. Okay. From like back home in Limpopo when I was still growing up in high school. That's where I discovered my funny bone. I've always been this awkward kid. I was always extra disciplined. Yes, I got the special portion of discipline. And just because of how I always behave. But the drama club and other things is where I found my language for comedy, which took me to competitions, to winning small awards and stuff like that. Like, I feel like finally I'm being seen for something other than being stoked, I found a language where I can just share my energy and all that. And it was through my comedy that one of the guys who was judging one of the local competitions saw me and was like, I think you have a potential as an actor.
Wow. Okay.
He saw my potential through comedy. And I was excited to be seen for something. All I want, attention, you know. So that was all what mattered. Like, I'm being seen for something, you know. Yes, my grades are not the best of the grades, you know. There's a lot that is not great, that is not best, but it's good to know that there's something that you're good at and some people are seeing. So I tried my hand at that. He would invite me to some of the rehearsals that they were doing.
Okay.
And eventually one of the actors dropped him in one of the shows. And he called me to come and do this. This was during my gap year. And
was this for theatre or TV?
Well, that was theatre.
Okay,
you know.
cool.
And then we started performing, and that's how my acting career started. So acting at that point, because there was people to work with, and already a network was developing, it was easier to move forward with acting than to do with comedy. But I've always missed that thing of saying things and people laughed and that type of engagement and response. I yearned for that thing. So after a couple of years acting, touring, going everywhere, overseas, locally, and everything, coming back home, I was like, I enjoy the acting, I love the acting, but I feel like I'm missing something. And that was comedy. And that's when I started going back into clubs, performing, getting my chops back, you know.
Okay.
And then I started performing with people locally, Wikidboni, or you can name them, all varied comics, just working around the country, Cape Town, Durban, everywhere. We were performing at festivals, at clubs, and pop-ins, and we do rooms in Joburg in the scene and stuff like that. And eventually I got back into comedy, started doing my one-man shows on a small scale, just trying to find my way, find what I believe makes my comedy what I want it to be.
Is it easy to find your voice again? Because acting is a different medium, right? You already get a script, you already get directed in what direction you want to go. But when you think about comedy, it's very self-directed. You actually have to harness that kind of on-stage personality for your jokes. Was it difficult navigating the two, especially if you've done like acting for a long time, now coming back to comedy and trying to sharpen your skill once again?
It was difficult, more because I have grown as a performer and as a person.
Sure.
From the person who I was back then and to the person that I've become now. It was a huge adjustment, it was a huge challenge, but also learning that, now because I'm starting afresh, the people who related to me as an actor don't relate to me as a comic, you know, and all of a sudden I have to find a new language to define myself and build a new community and build a new, it's a whole new thing. I'm starting literally from, it was easier to say I'm starting from nothing and I'm building myself up to be what I want to be, what I see happening. Yes. And
well, it sounds like it's going to be quite interesting, and we'll see if you can also tickle our funny bones. We've had a long week, you know, Philip, if I tell you, we've had a very long week. So we need a little bit of laughter to sort of wrap this week up, and we'll continue speaking to you after this break. We're chatting with actor, filmmaker, theatre playwright and comedian Philip Dikotla in our Channel Africa studios.
And we're speaking about live here. That's a Christmas comedy special we can expect during the December season from actor and comedian Philip Dikotla, who's joining us in studio. And we're just chatting to him about his career, his comedic flair, but also his ability to actually adapt to different scenarios of entertainment. I think it's not easy to actually move from one to another, and I think when we see a lot of artists doing that, we think it's an easy way to actually switch, but it's very much of a big challenge. Let's talk a little bit about yourself in terms of adapting these multiple facets of yourself. You know, you were talking about earlier on how you missed comedy. What did you actually miss about comedy?
I missed telling stories, because that's the same thing that I would do with plays. I know, even when I learned to write theatre, is that I would tell stories, but sometimes it feels like the stories are just too serious, you know. I hated the tense, some sort of a deep type of vibe, you know, and I just wanted to find a lighter way of doing the same thing, of telling stories, of making people laugh. Yes, we can talk about important things, but still find it an opportunity to be to laugh at them, to laugh at those type of situations, no matter what the situation may be. And I think that's what I wished for, and that's what I'm trying to do. That's what my comedy constantly strives to do. To engage on things that matter, on everyday conversations, but in a lighter way. That's man. Hey.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
It's important.
It's that time to laugh. Is it pressure? Because now we're going to ask you to do a comedy show for us. Is it pressure?
Yeah.
I didn't get that brief. Yeah.
Well, we are. We're going to put you on the spot. Is it difficult to actually do it when people ask you to do it? Or do you feel like... Because I've heard some comedians say, I hate when people say, make me laugh right now. Because apparently it's a bit of a turn-off for comedians.
It is a turn off, but most of the time I always argue that it's not even the ask for itself. It's because there's something that, for me, there's something that people expect with comedy. Is that when people ask to laugh, it's a bit weird because the truth is, and even as a comedian, I wouldn't define myself really as someone who makes people laugh. That's not my job, People laugh every day. People laugh in their everyday conversation. There's an uncle somewhere who's killing it right now with his friends, and they're laughing their lungs out.
Yeah.
It's what I'm able to do beyond making people laugh. That's why I put up shows more than just share acts or share jokes. That's why I put up a show and I tell stories, because there's more to it than people laughing. Yes, the gist of it is that it's an art of laughter. It's an art where people engage to laugh at lighter things. But the underlying creative aspect of it is that you are telling a story. You are trying to transform people through a live experience. So that's what I do. Some people would argue that, no, just make jokes and make people laugh. That's very different. So people will laugh. I'm not worried about that, but I'm more interested in what story am I telling? What are they laughing at? That's what I'm more interested in. So that's what normally is different. When someone tells you, can you please make me laugh? I'm like, sure, anyone can make you laugh, honestly speaking. But what makes us different from everyone else is that we have craftsmen in the thing of making people laugh. Yeah.
So, are you telling us that we're not previewing a little bit of the Live Here comedy special
I
today?
obviously have
I
stories
can
to tell.
hear your speech, it's very nice, but I want to laugh.
Honestly, no, look, man. I honestly have stories to tell. I have stories to tell, and I have some tips, especially because I'm a father now.
Okay.
There's a bunch of things to share. One of the biggest things that I went through when I adjusted to being a father was making sure that my child doesn't have to grow up with a single mother. Because growing up with a single mother, it's not easy. It's not easy at all, because when you grow up with a single mother, you have to start distinguishing between the uncle who sleeps on the couch and the uncle who sleeps in mama's bedroom. No, because the uncle who sleeps in mama's bedroom, he's a bit delusional. He comes around, he thinks he's your father. He's convinced that he's your father. But the uncle who sleeps on the couch, he knows the truth about your father.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That's the uncle. That's the uncle who cares about you. That uncle will tell you everything, my guy. Yeah. That uncle is going to help you throughout your life. Those are some of the things that your mind has to adjust to in that situation.
So you don't want your kid to have multiple uncles.
We must stick to. I'll be there. Avoid the uncle situation. The uncle is the last one you have to call in when things are... Right now, I must be there because I don't want my child to be living in those situations, And not in a bad way. I mean, my mother did a good job, did a decent job with me. Hopefully you can tell.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Not so sure.
Mama, you did your best, but I'm not sure about the results.
I'm not sure. Mama, we made it. Either way. So there's those type of experiences that I would honestly avoid. But also the one thing I've learned is that every time I tell stories about it, so I would normally tell people, I don't know, I'm a father, and people get excited. Even when I was talking to you, I'm a father, and people get excited. But almost all the time when people say they want to have kids, everyone tells them about the economy. But when you tell them that you have a child, no one says, Philip, in this economy.
Oh yeah.
No one ever says that. They only say it when you say you want to, but when you have, it's like, it's too late, my guy, we can't help you.
Yeah.
It's, you are too deep in the end, you know?
And they always like giving you that false impression that these kids can raise themselves, right?
Yeah, no, they grow them. You know, help him. Yeah, no, the baby, there's a smell, go and do the thing.
Yeah,
But why but you must do a lot of things. Your hands are full at a certain point.
Yeah.
So it's it's those type of experiences for me that I continue to share with other people.
All right, that's a good one. I think you should definitely keep that narrative about being a father. I relate to it, and a lot of gentlemen in the crowd will definitely relate to it. Let's talk a little bit.
Uncle.
No. I didn't have an
You
uncle.
are the uncle.
No, I'm not the uncle.
No, because I've been the uncle in some situations.
Oh, really?
And I was like, hi man, I'm not ready for this thing of being
really?
the uncle. When I met your mother, she didn't tell me that I must be ready to be an uncle, you know. Because sometimes they don't want us, you know.
Oh,
you
true.
find yourself just uncling there in people's homes. Feeling comfortable in situations you shouldn't be feeling comfortable
True.
in, you know.
True.
Yeah, no, yeah. It has been wild.
So where are we going to check this one out? Where can people expect the show? Where should they go to check it out?
The show, all the details that you need to know about the show are on the website, www.philipdikotla.live, and the tickets are sold strictly on that website. The show is happening on the 6th in Joburg at High Park Corner, New Metro Cinema. And then that's the first venue. And then I go to Cape Town on the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th of December at the Homecoming Center.
Oh, why more days in Cape Town? That's
You
interesting.
know, you're so biased towards Cape Town. Only one.
Yeah, you want to spend more time
Joburg.
there.
No, in Joburg I struggled to find a venue that was reasonable, you know,
Okay,
at the time. So, more especially for this December season, I looked for my venue quite late. But in Joburg, in Cape Town, I found a venue timely, and then I could have.
Awesome. Okay, we have to wrap it up there. Thank you so much, Philip.
Oh, is this goodbye?
Yeah, bye-bye, Uncle. It's time for you to go. It's 10:30 Central African time. That's how we wrap it up. Well, you want to say something?
I want to say something. Just when you go on the website today, just for today until 12 o'clock midnight, I'm running a Black Friday special, 50% discount. Only for people who are listening here, they will know what to do. But if you're listening right now, you can go on the website, buy a 50% discount when you use the coupon code on your exit when you purchase your ticket. Use the coupon code Black Friday 2024. It ends tonight at 12 o'clock. Hurry.
Hurry. Uncle is giving you offers there. So make sure that you prescribe to him there. That's Philip giving us his comedy for today. That was a nice one to wrap up this particular second hour. It's 10:31 Central African time.